Hi, in another video I talked about measuring benefits of environmental regulations. We're going to drill down just a little bit into detail there. So I talked about something called the value of statistical life, where we look at things like the employment market and the housing market to get a sense of how much people are willing to pay for a small change in risk. And that gives us a measure of how much people are willing to value a change in risk such as that we would get with improved environmental quality. Now, that's called a revealed preference method. If we're looking at data from the labor market or from the housing market, we're looking at revealed preferences because we're seeing what people are doing, we're observing them, and they're interacting in real marketplaces. They're putting their money where their mouth is, actually buying a house or taking a job. Now, there is another method for measuring benefits called stated preferences. So stated preference methods are when we ask people how much they value something like a change in environmental quality. Now, stated preferences have some advantages. With stated preferences, you can specify exactly what change in environmental quality you want to put a measure on. And you can ask questions that get at the values people put on all sorts of things that we don't see in everyday markets around us. So you can get a much broader range of topics and opinions when you're thinking about different changes in environmental quality if you're using stated preference methods. Now, there is a downside to that. Using stated preference methods, we're surveying people. We're asking them how much they care about something like the existence of an endangered species that lives in another country. It's something they're never going to go see. It's something that they may still care about enough that they would actually pay some money, right? So we tell them about this endangered lizard that lives in Madagascar. We say how it's threatened by deforestation. And we say, would you be willing to contribute $15 to this fund that helps prevent deforestation and protects habitat for this lizard? And people would either say yes or no. Maybe we ask them, if they said no, we could ask them if they would give $10 or $5 and keep going down until we get to a number that they would agree to. Now, the problem with stated preferences is that people aren't actually putting their money where their mouth is. People are telling us what they think, and hopefully that's useful information, but they may have an incentive to mislead us a little bit. If I care about environmental quality, I may give an estimate of my willingness to pay that's really, really high. I may say, I would give $1 million to this conservation fund. Now, would I really do that? No, I don't have $1 million. But it's a stated preference survey. I don't have to actually give the money. I just have to say how much I would give. So, stated preference studies can cover a lot of topics, but they come with a big drawback of we're not sure how much to trust the actual results. Speaking of trusting, I have a little helper here. Gideon, you want to come on up and say hi? No.
Hi.
Come say hi.
Hi.
Yeah. So how much of your money would you be willing to pay to help protect black rhinos that live in Africa?
$8 million.
$8 million. Do you have $8 million? No. How about if you think about the money that you actually have? So you have quite a bit of money saved up from helping out and doing chores and things. How much of that money would you be willing to give to help protect the black rhinos? $8? Yeah. Well, that's very nice. What if I told you that instead of giving that $8 to help protect the rhinos, we could take that $8 and we could go buy some toys or books or ice cream cones? Would you still want to give the $8 for the rhinos, or would you rather keep it?
$8 for the
Oh, that's very sweet of you. Gideon has a very generous heart. He actually has donated some of his money for good causes, haven't you, Gideon? Yep, and he says he would do it for the black rhinos, and I believe him. So we've gotten a willingness to pay number from Gideon by asking him about something. We've then, you may have noticed, I reminded him about his budget constraint, right? He said he would give $8 million, so I said, are you sure you have that? Is that a realistic sort of number? And then he came back with a much more realistic one of $8. Then we prodded him a little bit to say, remember, you could use that money for other stuff too. Would you still want to give it? And he said yes. So that's how a lot of stated preference studies are done. We ask people how much they're willing to give. We remind them of their budget constraint. We remind them that there are other uses of their money that they could put it toward. And we see if they stay consistent with their willingness to pay figure, like Gideon did after he gave the $8 figure. Thanks for helping, Gideon. And that's it for our stated preferences for today. One of the ways that we measure benefits of environmental regulations.